Assalamualaikum and very good morning to all honorable panelists, which is Professor Maida Technologist Dr. Nur Suhaila binti Muhammad Sunar, Professor Maida Technologist Dr. Nurhanis Hayati binti Hairum, and Dr. Nur Hazrin binti Abdul Hamid. I am Norwardatun binti Roni. Today, I would like to present my Previva session, which titled A Study on Vertical Recycled Concrete Aggregate Filter for Phosphorus Removal in Wastewater. My supervisor is Professor Maida Technologist Dr. Surayahani binti Adnan. Co-supervisor, which is Dr. Nuramida binti Hamidun and Dr. Tuan Hasana binti Tuan Ismail. For abstract, phosphorus is one of the key nutrients that leads to eutrophication. Recycled concrete aggregate, which is RCA, may be an alternative solution for phosphorus removal. This study aims to investigate the physical and chemical characteristics of RCA that influence the removal of phosphorus, as well as percentage of phosphorus removal using RCA of three different sizes of RCA, which is 5mm to 10mm, 10mm to 15mm, and 15mm to 20mm. Then, for vertical laboratory scale RCA filter were designed with three different pH value. Then the test was in terms of pH, uptake capacity, and percentage phosphorus removal. RCA also analyzed using scanning electron microscopy and energy dispersive X-ray, which is ADX. At the end, the result shows that RCA has a high content of aluminum, calcium, and magnesium that enhance phosphorus absorption. RCA measuring between 5mm to 10mm achieved the highest phosphorus removal percentage, which is 99.54% at pH 9. Then the three vertical laboratory was designed with three different RCA for pure grey water, which is at Cafe College Kediaman, Agong. Okay, for objective, I have the overall aim of this study is to evaluate on phosphorus removal efficiency in different types of RCA. For first objective, which to determine chemical and physical characteristics of RCA, to develop vertical recycled concrete aggregate filter system for phosphorus removal. Third, to analyze the pH and phosphorus removal of synthetic wastewater before and after treatment. And last, to evaluate the selected parameters, which is pH, BOD, COD, and TSS for grey water. Okay, this is a scope of study consists of 5 elements. First, to characterize chemical composition, point zero charge, and pH value of RCA. To crush the recycled concrete aggregate from heavy structure laboratory. To run the continuous lab scale recycled concrete aggregate for different pH 3, 7, and 9. To run continuous lab scale using grey water at Bagong Residential Cafe. And last, to collect the sample influent and effluent of the lab scale vertical recycled concrete aggregate filter on a weekly basis laboratory. Okay, there are consists of two problem statement in this study, which is the management of solid waste serious challenge face globally. So can cause the real problem to environmental level. This issue could contribute to pollutions. And the second problem statement is excessive phosphorus load to water body can cause eutrophication. Okay, so this is example from problem due to construction waste, and this is eutrophication. Okay, for literature review, This study consists of 4 main literature review, which is wastewater, phosphorus, aeration, and recycled concrete aggregate. Okay, for wastewater, 2 example, which is effect of wastewater to environment and human health, and wastewater treatment system. For phosphorus, consists of 4 main chapter, which is sources of phosphorus, phosphorus and eutrophication, phosphorus removal technologies, and factor affecting removal of phosphorus. Okay, then continue with filter media for phosphorus removal, chemical composition of phosphorus removal, and phosphorus removal mechanism. Okay, this is an example material used as a filter media for phosphorus removal, which is consists of 3 main difference, which is natural, industrial byproduct, and man-made material. Okay, the other side is a chemical composition of several different material as a filter media. Okay, this is for aeration and recycled concrete aggregate. It's divided into 3, which is properties of RCA. RCA as a filter media and production of RCA. Okay, next go to methodology. The process started with the collection of waste cube from heavy structure UTHM. Then the concrete cube were crushed and sieved to required size, which is 5 mm to 30 mm prior to use. The process then continued with several tests in order to determine the physical and chemical characteristic of RCA. Then the first sets of experiment using RCA, which is 3 different pH, which using synthetic wastewater. Then the study was continued with the raw grey water at residential college, which is 3 different sizes of RCA. Okay, this is a preparation of material synthetic wastewater by using potassium dihydrogenate phosphate. Okay, this is preparation of material, which is RCA. RCA was taken at laboratory. Then the concrete was crushing into crushing machine. The RCA was being crushed, and RCA has been sieved from 5 mm to 30 mm. Okay, for the testing, in this test, it include 2 testing, which is physical and chemical. For physical, the testing was done sieve analysis, water absorption, bulk density, and aggregate impact value. For chemical, pH, chemical composition, and point zero charge. Okay, this is a sieve analysis test. This test is used to determine the grading of RCA. Okay, from this graph, we can see the grade curve for RCA specific entering the designated area. So the highest percentage of size RCA passing the sieve is between 5 mm. Okay, for bulk density test, the result was shown. The bulk density is 1680 kg per meter cube. So from this result, we can see the more graded the aggregate, the greater the density, the bulk density. So for this RCA, we can state that is a more angular and flaky shape of material to reduce the bulk density. Okay, for water absorption test, this result shows the average was 1.27. For this water absorption gives ideal strength of aggregates. So aggregates having less water absorption are more porous in nature and generally considered suitable to be an filter for removal of phosphorus. Okay, for aggregate impact value test, this result shows 28.75%. Okay, to achieve high quality strength of aggregate, must possessing low aggregate impact value. So the aggregate impact value cannot exceed 45%. So for RCA is approved and is not exceed 45%. Okay, for chemical characterization of RCA, the point zero charge, which is 9, near to 9, and the pH is 9.3, which is alkaline. Okay, this is testing for SEM analysis and ADA testing for RCA. From these results, we can see the three elements that enhance for phosphorus removal include in RCA, which is calcium, aluminium, and magnesium. Okay, for percentage removal of phosphorus due to pH, which is in synthetic wastewater, it was shown that the pH 9, the removal of phosphorus is the highest, which is 99%, 96%. The higher the pH, the smaller the RCA size of RCA, the greater the efficiency of phosphorus removal. Okay, we can see the result for 5 mm to 10 mm due to days. Over the days, the higher percentage we can see at pH 9. Alright. Okay, then this percentage phosphorus removal for 10 mm to 15 mm, and this is 50 mm to 20 mm. Okay, for characterization of wastewater at Pago Residential Cafe, we can see for total suspended solid, we can see over the days the total suspended solid was decreased, and the highest concentration is at RCA, which sizes 5 mm to 10 mm, which is 650. Okay, for BOD, which is biochemical oxygen demands, over the days we can see the BOD highest for the early and decrease over the days. For phosphorus removal at a residential college, which is a grey water, over the day the phosphorus removal was increased, which is 92.5%. Okay, this is a correlation between concentration of phosphorus removal for three different sizes. Okay, from this graph, we can see the R square is near to 1. Okay, as a conclusion, according to the analysis, a number of conclusions has been made, which is all the physical and chemical characteristics of RCA is suitable to be used as a filter removal. The vertical recycled concrete aggregate filter for phosphorus removal using RCA is absorbing material was developed, and the highest pH reading, which is 95.2% of phosphorus removed at pH 9, and for the real grey water, which is 92.5% of RCA between size 5 mm to 10 mm. Okay, this is some my publication for book chapter, and this is a for journal and proceeding. Some list of awards. Thank you.